My wife quietly sent divorce papers via email, while I was on duty drained our joint account. My name is Jack Thompson, and I've stared death in the face more times than I can count. I'm a soldier, Special Forces captain, the guy you call when the mission's gone to hell. I'm 35 with a scar across my cheek from shrapnel in Kandahar, and green eyes that people say, look right through you. I grew up in a Rust Belt town, orphaned at 12, bouncing between foster homes, until the Army gave me a family discipline kept me alive. Loyalty kept me human, but nothing. Not a single firefight prepared me for the moment my world burned down. I was in a field hospital, my leg bandaged from a roadside bomb that hit our convoy 3 days ago. The blast killed 2 of my men, and I was still seeing their faces when I closed my eyes. My body ached. My mind was a fog of painkillers and guilt, but I dragged myself to a laptop to check for messages from Sarah, my wife, my anchor. We'd been married 10 years, built a life from nothing, a house in the suburbs, dreams of kids, a love I thought was unbreakable. Her blonde hair, her laugh, the way she'd curl into me at night. They were my reason to keep going, even with the nightmares. The PTSD that made sleep a battle. Sarah was my safe harbor. The email's subject line stopped my heart. Divorce papers, final notice. My hands shook as I clicked Jack. It read, "This isn't working. I need to move on. The papers are attached. I've taken the funds from our account to start over. Don't contact me. Sarah." I stared numb until the words sank in. I opened our banking app, our joint account, $300,000, every penny we'd saved for a future was gone. 0. I tried her number. Blocked. I emailed. Bounced back. My chest tightened. The room spinning. I was alone, half a world away, broken in body and soul. Then came the second blow. A message from my CO. "Thompson, we've received allegations of financial misconduct tied to your personal accounts. You're on leave pending investigation." Sarah hadn't just left me. She'd framed me, falsified records to make it look like I'd mismanaged funds. My career, the one thing I'd built from nothing, was crumbling. I limped to the bathroom, splashing water on my face, staring at the man in the mirror. My eyes were hollow, my scar stark against pale skin. I looked like a ghost. "I got a call from Mike, my old squad mate, now a PI. Jack, people are talking. He said Sarah's telling everyone you were abusive, controlling friends, neighbors. They believe her. She's posting online pictures with some slick guy, captioning them, 'Finally free. It's bad, man.'" I scrolled her social media on a burner account. There she was, radiant, arm in arm with Mark Reynolds, her boss, champagne flutes, penthouse views, her laughing at a life I'd funded. One post gutted me. "Sacrifices are worth it for freedom. New beginnings." She was mocking me, parading her betrayal for the world to see. I've learned this. The deepest wounds don't bleed. They fester silent from the ones you trust most. Sarah wasn't just leaving me, she was erasing me, rewriting our story to make me the villain. I was injured, accused, alone. My name dragged through the mud. I sat in that hospital bed, the beeping monitors mocking my heartbeat, and made a choice. I wouldn't break. Not yet. Recovery was hell. My leg throbbed with every step, the shrapnel wound leaving a limp I couldn't shake. Nightmares woke me, flashes of the blast, my men's screams mixed with Sarah's cold smile. PTSD tightened its grip. I'd freeze at loud noises, my hands trembling, but worse was the isolation. Friends I'd known for years stopped replying. My sister Lisa texted Jack, "I don't know what to believe. Call me when you're ready." Sarah's lies had spread like poison, turning my world against me. Mike kept digging. "She's living large," he reported. "Private jets, a yacht rental, $50,000, handbags. Mark's bankrolling some, but your money's the foundation. And Jack, she's filed complaints with your command, claiming you hid assets. They're talking court-martial." I clenched my fists, my knuckles white. Sarah wasn't just stealing my money, she was dismantling my life. Her posts grew bolder. "Some men hold you back." Thank God I broke free. Comments cheered her on, strangers calling me a monster. I was a soldier trained to endure, but this was a war I didn't know how to fight. Mark Reynolds was the final twist of the knife, mid-40s, slick as oil with a penthouse and a smirk that screamed privilege. He was Sarah's boss, her partner in the marketing firm they'd built. I'd met him once at a company gala. He'd shaken my hand, his grip weak, his eyes dismissive. Now he was her future, flaunting her on his arm like a trophy. Their affair wasn't a secret. It was a spectacle designed to humiliate me. I've learned that rock bottom isn't a place. It's a moment. It's when you're staring at the wreckage of your life, every hope shattered, and you decide whether to surrender or fight. I was there limping through a base hospital, my career on the line. My name slandered my wife, laughing in another man's arms. I could have given up. God knows I wanted to. But something in me, call it stubbornness, call it rage, refused. I started planning Sarah's company. Thompson & Reynolds Marketing was her crown jewel. She didn't know I'd invested in it years ago, quietly through a shell company I owned, 45% of the shares. A fact buried in legal fine print. It was my leverage, my lifeline. I called Tom, my lawyer, a grizzled vet who'd seen every kind of fight. "Can we transfer the shares to me?" I asked, "and clear my name?" Tom's voice was steady. "It's a long shot, Jack. She's covered her tracks. She's covered her. But if anyone can pull this off, it's you." I spent nights poring over documents, my leg propped on a crate. Painkillers dulling the ache, but not the fire in my chest. I was a tactician, trained to turn chaos into victory. Sarah thought she'd won. She didn't know I was coming for her. 6 months later, I landed in the U.S., a shadow of the man I'd been. My legs still ached. My sleep was fractured, but my plan was ironclad. Tom had worked miracles. The share transfer was complete. I controlled Sarah's company. He'd also uncovered her forged documents proving I hadn't touched the funds she'd accused me of stealing. The military cleared my name, but the damage was done. Friends didn't call back. My reputation was a husk. All I had left was justice. The courthouse loomed like a battlefield. I walked in my limp, barely noticeable, dressed in a suit that felt foreign after years in fatigues. My eyes, green and sharp, hid the storm inside. Sarah arrived dripping in designer clothes. Mark at her side, she looked triumphant, her smile a blade. Our eyes met, and I saw a flicker of doubt. I wasn't the broken man she'd expected. I was a soldier, and this was my war. Her lawyer laid out her case. A clean divorce assets divided my signature on the papers she'd forged, that too, thinking I was too weak to fight. Then Tom stood. "My client contests everything he said. Mrs. Thompson drained the marital account, falsified records, and slandered Mr. Thompson to destroy his career. He presented the evidence, bank statements, share transfers, emails between Sarah and Mark, plotting to frame me, the judge." A woman with a gaze like steel listened. Tom dropped the bomb. Mr. Thompson owned 45% of Thompson & Reynolds Marketing through a silent investment. He's transferred those shares to his name, giving him majority control. Sarah screamed, "That's a lie. It's my company." The judge silenced her. "The documents are legal," she said. "You have no claim to the company. Furthermore, you're liable for $18 million in debts, loans, credit cards, all in your name." Sarah collapsed. Sobbing, Mark muttered excuses, edging toward the door. The courtroom buzzed, but I felt nothing. No joy, no rage, just clarity. I stood, my voice steady. "Your Honor, I'm selling the company. The proceeds will fund a charity for veterans. Sarah can keep her debts. I want nothing from her." The judge nodded, and I walked out, the weight lifting from my shoulders. Sarah's empire was dust. Her lies had unraveled, her betrayal exposed. She'd thought she could bury me, but I'd turned her weapons against her. I've learned that justice isn't loud, it's precise. It's not about screaming or swinging fists. It's about striking where it hurts most, with a plan so tight it leaves no escape. Sarah underestimated me, and that was her undoing. A year later, I stood in a community center, a banner overhead. Thompson Veterans Fund, Grand opening. I'd sold Sarah's company for $12 million and built something real: housing, therapy, scholarships for veterans and their families. The room was alive with hope. Soldiers I'd served with, kids chasing balloons, families hugging me with tears in their eyes. I spoke. We've all been broken, but we're not defined by what we lose. We're defined by what we build. The applause was deafening, but I felt it in my bones. Sarah was a memory. Her life, a cautionary tale. Mike sent updates. She'd lost everything: friends, status, mark. She worked odd jobs, her face gaunt in grainy photos. Social media shunned her. Headlines called her the fallen socialite. I didn't need to see her suffer. Her choices had carved her path. Mine had carved mine. The fund was my redemption. Every life we touched, every veteran who got a home, every kid who went to college, was proof that pain could become purpose. I wasn't the man Sarah had married, soft and trusting. I was harder, now sharper, but better. My scar, my limp, my nightmares. They were part of me, but they didn't own me. I met Emily at a fund event. She was a therapist, mid-30s with warm brown eyes and a smile that felt like home. "You're changing lives, Jack," she said. We talked for hours, her laughter easing the knots in my chest. She wasn't Sarah. She was steady, real, a partner in the work we did. I wasn't ready for love, but I was open to hope. I've learned that victory isn't revenge, it's creation. Sarah took my money, my name, my trust, but she couldn't take my will. I built something bigger than her betrayal, something that'll outlive us both. That's my triumph. 2 years on the Thompson Veterans Fund is a beacon. We've helped thousands and the work grows. I stand on a hill at dusk, the city sprawling below. My legs still aching, but my heart steady. I think of Sarah, not with anger, but with distance. She's a stranger now, her life a shadow of her choices. I pity her, but I don't dwell. My life is here in the families we save, the purpose I've found. I visit Daniel's grave, my friend lost in that blast years ago. I lay a coin on his stone. "We're doing it, brother," I say. The wind answers and I smile. Emily's waiting for me at the car, her presence. A quiet promise. My past. Sarah, the lies. The pain is a scar, like the one on my cheek. It's there, but it doesn't define me. I've learned, you can't erase the past, but you can shape what comes next. I was broken, slandered, betrayed my body and soul, battered. But I fought back. Not with fists, but with strategy, with purpose. My name is Jack Thompson, and this is my story. Not of what I lost, but of what I built. I'm not whole, but I'm free, and that's enough.